Bomb threats, cyberattacks, and Russian interference couldn't stop Moldova's pro-European PAS party. President Maia Sandu claims a decisive parliamentary majority, signalling a bold push toward EU integration. Diaspora voters defy intimidation, Transnistria tensions simmer, and hybrid warfare looms. But Moldova's election result sends a warning. The country will chart its own European future against all odds. Moldova's pro-European Party of Action and Solidarity, led by President Maia Sandu, has officially secured a decisive victory in the country's parliamentary elections. With 100% of votes counted, the party won just over 50% of the vote, giving it a clear majority in the 101-seat legislature and allowing it to form a government without coalition partners. The election was a critical test for Moldova's future direction, balancing EU integration against pro-Russian influence. Amid the polls, President Sandu, on September 28th, warned that massive interference from Moscow had put the country's democratic path at risk.
There is a lot at stake in these elections for our country. If Moldovans are strong enough, and despite the massive interference of Russia, will decide for themselves, Moldova will have the chance to continue to strengthen its democracy, to protect its peace, and to continue its EU integration path.
Turnout reached around 52%, including significant participation from Moldova's diaspora. Many voters travelled long distances from the breakaway Transnistria region, where a pro-Russian administration and a small Russian garrison hold sway. The vote was marred by alleged cyberattacks, bomb threats at polling stations abroad, and attempts to disrupt voting locally.
We saw attempts to interfere in the electoral process by criminal groups, supported by the Russian Federation, attempts to destabilize the situation, bomb alarms, and other provocations that we saw on the territory of the Republic of Moldova, as well as abroad.
Despite these challenges, Sandu's party maintained a commanding lead over the pro-Russian patriotic bloc, which garnered under 25% of the vote. Oana Popescu-Zamfir, an analyst, says that Moldova has demonstrated that Russia, accused of interference in the country's elections, can be defeated. Moldova has demonstrated that Russia can be defeated against all odds and even in a hugely asymmetric fight. The country has shown an incredible level of commitment to a pro-democratic, pro-European future. With a stable majority, President Sandu and PAS are poised to strengthen Moldova's EU integration efforts.
Good to see you.
Analysts say the result signals strong public support for democratic institutions and a rejection of foreign interference, with implications not only for Moldova, but for regional stability near Ukraine and the European Union. The tense atmosphere surrounding Moldova's parliamentary election extended beyond its borders. In Brussels, thousands of Moldovan expatriates casting ballots at the country's embassy were forced to evacuate after a bomb threat. Police, however, confirmed the alert was false, and voting soon resumed. Officials described the incident as part of a broader pattern of voter suppression tactics aimed at intimidating diaspora voters, many of whom overwhelmingly support Moldova's pro-EU government. Inside Moldova, the security situation remained fragile. Authorities reported automated bomb threats at polling stations in Transnistria, the breakaway pro-Russian enclave along the Dniester River. In response, polling stations were temporarily relocated to safer sites to protect voters. National police also detained 3 individuals allegedly involved in plots to destabilize the election. 2 of the men, reportedly linked to Transnistria's security apparatus, were accused of coordinating logistics and supplying groups intending to incite panic. Pyrotechnics and flammable materials were seized during searches. Moldova's national security advisor, Stanislav Secrieru, had warned ahead of the vote that Moscow would attempt to intimidate both domestic and overseas voters, using disinformation campaigns, bomb threats, and staged protests to project false dissatisfaction. These efforts followed similar tactics observed in previous elections, including the 2024 presidential vote that re-elected Maia Sandu. Despite the disruptions, Moldovans turned out to vote, with more than 1.5 million ballots cast, representing over 52% of registered voters. Authorities urged citizens to rely on official information sources and to exercise caution against narratives promoted by foreign actors attempting to undermine the electoral process. Moldova's Pro-European Party of Action and Solidarity, PAS, emerged victorious in the September 28th parliamentary election, securing a decisive mandate to continue reforms and advance EU integration. President Maia Sandu hailed the result as a testament to Moldovans' resilience and commitment to democracy, emphasizing the stakes for both the nation and the wider region. The win strengthens Moldova's negotiating position with Brussels, ensuring continuity in key reforms on justice, anti-corruption measures, public administration, and market alignment, prerequisites for eventual EU membership. Analysts note that the election outcome sends a strong message. Moldova is resolved to deepen ties with Europe, despite its historical, linguistic, and cultural links with Russia. However, the path ahead is fraught with challenges. Russian-backed attempts to destabilize the vote, including cyberattacks, bomb threats abroad, and disinformation campaigns, underscore the vulnerability of Moldova's institutions to hybrid warfare. Domestic political tensions persist too. High living costs, energy insecurity, and poverty remain pressing concerns for the electorate. Some opposition voices, particularly pro-Russian factions and far-right Romanian actors, continue to cast doubt on Sandu's reforms, reflecting the enduring polarization in Moldovan society. Regionally, Moldova's pro-EU trajectory strengthens Eastern Europe's security architecture, particularly amid the ongoing war in Ukraine. Western partners have signaled support, but Moscow's influence in Transnistria and among domestic opposition groups poses a continuing threat. Sandu's victory is both a triumph and a mandate to secure Moldova's European path, resist foreign interference, and navigate complex domestic challenges. The country now faces the critical task of translating electoral success into sustainable democratic and economic progress while remaining vigilant against regional instability